Hey, Christoph.
Hi, Mark.
How's it going?
I'm getting used to the track. Would you like to jump in the car and do a few laps?
Um, yep, sure. Okay, I'm just loading up the game now. How many laps have you done so far?
Okay, you can drive, Mark. Now.
Okay, sure. Give me 2 seconds.
So well, there we are. It's the closest fight on the track. Google holds
Two
on. Here we
seconds.
Apollo.
Fuel's almost out.
Okay, I'm still loading up the game at the moment. I'll take the car in a second, or you can keep doing some laps and I'll let you know when I get in.
Oh, no problem. It's only 12 minutes, so it's better than you will go. Because I think that you will practice now in the second part of the practice session and the first part of the qualify session, and I will take the second part of the qualify, to get used to the track before the race starts.
That sounds like a good idea. Okay, so where are we? We are just setting up to start practicing with my teammate. Christoph has already been practicing for the Spirit of VLN race tonight at Road America, the 4 hours of Road America. Um, it's going to be an interesting race. It should be really good fun. If you jumped along with us, or rode along with us, I should say, in our stream on Friday, you'd have seen us take the initial training session and start trying to work out our pit strategy, which actually should be quite simple for the race, but also to work out are, let me get a new car. Also to work out the driver rotation that we would run, and pretty much actually to get on top of the car, because again, if you rode along, you'll know that we don't ordinarily drive the Cadillac. It's a car we're definitely thinking about running more of. Let me just put my glasses on. Hopefully with the glasses on, it will stop me playing with my eye, because I think either I have an eyelash in it or something else that's irritating me. But yeah, so we racing gloves. The same racing gloves that someone asked me about in the stream. Why do I wear them? And for everybody that, sorry, let me put the please don't disturb I am racing sign on the door, made for me by my goddaughter. She made it for me last year. I've used it ever since. It stops people doing things that sim racers, that's going to be really irritating if I can't sort out. Sim racers completely understand, and other people don't, that you can't just walk in and disturb somebody when they are on track. People think, well, you're just playing a game. What's the big deal? I can A, talk to you, B, walk in front of you and the screen, and you try to explain it. It's the same as you walking in front of me whilst I'm driving. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't put your hands over my eyes. You wouldn't expect me to take my eyes off the road. But yep, as is the lot in life of us sim racers. So anyway, Christoph's been running a few laps. I'm now going to jump in the car and warm up, see if I can get back on the pace and consistency we found towards the end of qualifying in the training session, and get up to speed with the car at full fuel again like we did in the race. But hopefully, as it's the main event, start nailing some of those optimal sectors, be a little bit more confident in the car. So where's Christoph, I should say, got us right now. So he's got us a 209.3. He's done a 208 in training earlier on today, so we've got a little bit more pace than that in the car. It's nice to see a bigger field of Cadillacs actually, so this should be a really good event. So let's put all the classes back up. Let me pull the stream up here so I can see whether or not it's working. Otherwise I'm talking to myself. If you are in the chat lobby, hi. Thanks for coming to keep us company. Let me... Okay, just waiting for it to initialize. Okay. So, hi Mikey09C. Let's... Okay. Wow, we're a little further back the pit lane than normal. Frame rates a little bit lower because of all the cars probably on the pit lane. This is going to be really difficult seeing actually whether or not there are cars coming by you with all that traffic sitting on the pit lane. It's a pity our other teammate Ralph couldn't race today, but real life had other demands of him because he had some really good pace. Okay.
an eye open.
Got to remember the trick's to still drive it smooth. Don't
Coming.
try and take liberties with it. Let the car warm up. Let the muscle memory come back to me. This is the first time I've got behind the wheel today, so I wouldn't say I'm ring rusty, but I'm not in sync yet. Okay, so, ooh, took my eye off the road. What I will do before the race starts is turn down something in the graphics, because I'm thinking that with the number of cars we've got, with all the off tracks that we're likely to get, with all the dust that's going to get kicked up and perhaps tyre smoke,
Keep after, bud, about 5
processor is going to take a lot
away. Keep going, keep going.
of work to keep up. What I've done since Friday, don't know if it's legible actually, is added to the overlay the CPU performance, the usage, so the load on the processor, and the graphics card memory usage as well, so you can have a good idea of the stresses on the system in an event like this.
Left side. Still there at your door. All clear, my man.
Whoa. See, I was being very cautious with the Kia, not wanting to scare him,
On your left.
but rather than cede the corner,
Still there. You're clear.
he still pretty much nailed it. But it's going to be a long race, 4 hours. Important thing is to let discretion be the better part of valor in every low percentage situation. Bringing the car home in one piece will outperform hot lappers who end up in the wall. Okay, see, that's the time I would like to get down to, that 2:07.6. It's entirely possible. Just require me to concentrate. And to have confidence. If you were watching Friday, you'd have heard all the discussions about not letting your self-doubts get in the way whilst you're racing. Otherwise you limit your potential and you you start getting pessimistic, and rather than overdriving being your problem, underdriving becomes your problem. And in some of these turns, if you don't carry enough speed, you don't put the car in the right state, let it fall to the apex mark to take the corner at optimal. Okay, we're starting to get there. See, I joined the session late, so qualifying's due to start soon, so I'm not entirely
car
up
doing there?
to speed. But we've got an hour, so hi Luga. Okay, I'm going to do the first run, and then I need to remember when I come back, let's just dial down some of the graphics. Shouldn't have to, the system can handle it, but I'd rather make life easier on myself. Whoa, he didn't make turn 1. I've done that many a time. Underestimate the cold tyres and loot it. I haven't figured out all of the classes yet, so as in where's the roof going to go, what's its line, and since Jasper is only a couple of seconds up the road from him as well, I might back myself up a bit. Oh, he's doing the same thing. Okay, I wanted to give myself some space to Brian. See, it's definitely the dust. Did you see the stutters as that car went off? So, yep, I'm definitely going to tweak something. Whoops, arc's too much. Excuse me. It's the right line, well, almost. It's the right way to attack the turn, but I just took a little too much. See, this is what I wanted to try and avoid. I don't want to interfere with their laps, but I don't want them to interfere with mine either. So, best thing to do is to just pass him in a straight somewhere. You can spend a whole qualifying session trying to find a gap and end up never putting in your time. Sometimes I find in multi-class and open qualifying sessions, as long as you don't interfere with somebody else's lap, it's sometimes better to just drive and forget about trying to get a gap. Just keep putting in times, because you can be too clever for your own good.
We're going to be pitting you here in about 2 or 3 laps, bud.
See, you could end up not setting a time at all. And pass them both on the straight. Whoa, he slowed down much more than I was expecting.
Left side. Still there. Clear. Good job.
Bad line through there. Gonna lose a ton through here now. Pick a side.
Left side. Still there. Still there. Clear if you need it.
Yeah, that lap was dead anyway. Oops, got a slide on. I lost time through both those turns, but this is the banker lap. Yep, see, lost loads. Forgot what gear I was in. So let's give the tyres a cool down lap. I definitely have a piece of fluff or lint or something that's in my right eye, starting to tear up, which is helpful. It's making everything blurry. Okay. Let's take care of that. Let's take down the number of cars first. Let's do that first. Change number of cars. Just had an awful thought. I can't remember whether there's a no escape walling effect. I was rereading the rules just before joining the session, but I don't remember reading that. It's amazing how quickly you can forget something like that as soon as you leave the pit box. If so, sorry Christoph if I just got us disqualified from qualifying, but I don't think that's the case. And since there's not much else I can do now, I'm just going to wait for an opportunity on the straight to pass Jakob and get on with our lap. Damn it. Oh well, this is the first lap on cold tyres anyway.
One on the right side. Clear, clear, clear. Clear, clear, clear.
Sorry. What's he, 991? Wasn't expecting him to come to a stop on the apex. Pretty much came to a standstill. Obviously not, but that's what it felt like.
Left side, you're clear.
See what I mean about losing sight of the cars
We'll be fine.
on the pit? You can't tell who's on track and who's on the pit lane. Okay, I've got 12 minutes to put in a proper time.
On your right. Clear, clear.
So many more cars on track than there were on Friday.
Keep on digging, bud. We're going to be pitting in 5. We're going to pit in 5. On your right.
Oh,
Clear, clear. Left side. Clear him.
okay, that looked like an accident waiting to happen. So I can't complain about not being able to find a clear track because it's the same challenge everybody is trying to work with. So if people manage to put in a faster time with the same track conditions, it's nothing to do with not being able to find a clear track. It's not being able to take the opportunities afforded to you and nail the lap.
Left side.
Whoa.
Clear, clear. On your left. Still there. Clear him.
Took such a bad turn one. Got a wheel off. Damn it. This is probably my last run. It's a terrible qualifying session so far. Whoa, no, no, what are you doing? Track's so tight down there. it's hard to figure out what the car in front's doing, if they're literally slowing down or if it's just the overspeed and class difference. Oh, if only that was my lap.
Start spotting that entry to pit road, man. We're getting close.
Yeah, knew it. Lost so much time not wanting to hit him. No, pick a side. Whoa, pick a side, pick a side.
Right side. Still there. Clear, clear, clear.
The only consolation is in a 4-hour race you've got so much more time to make the positions racing rather than having to qualify at the front, or towards the front of the grid, I should say. It's just frustrating as hell, because once your lap's compromised, your lap's compromised. And everyone's fighting for their own lap, so you can't expect somebody to sacrifice theirs for you. So it's just a case of, yep, suck it up, get on it. Session optimal. I'll look in a second. Oh, Mark. After this, I've got one more lap. All I've accomplished in half an hour is to use up virtual rubber. I knew it. It just felt like I was making some time back, at least in the other sectors, but I just lost 4/10 on that lap. And now I'm going to lose it all to David when we get down there. Unless he's really kind. It's kinder than I expected. Oh, Mark. How much did you just lose? Eight tenths. Ah. Oh well, it's time to give the car to Christopher. Christoph, sorry. Hi, Christoph, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Your turn, sorry. Completely messed that up.
Oh, really? Time below 209, I think it's a very good time, so congratulations.
Thanks, but session optimals 2080.
Yeah, it's always like that, don't worry, but can you explain one thing? How it is possible that on your stream that we can see our BFR skin? Because as I know, trade paints are not working here in team events.
Yeah, because don't forget for the first race at Spa, we had to submit a paint file to the league, and they will have that paint file on their server or the system that they're using to stream the race from.
Ah, okay, I understand. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Yeah, see, we should have been up there with the Monster Energy Endurance team. We should have. I'm quite disappointed in that. Let's take shadow volumes off.
On your left. Clear.
Oh well, as I said, this is qualifying. Qualifying's qualifying. We'll deal with it afterwards when we actually get into the race. It would have just been nice to put in the optimal for the session, because it started to feel right. It started to feel good, but instead we're down in 24th position overall and 9th in class. But hey, as I said, it's a 4-hour race. Most important thing will be bringing the car across the start-finish line at the end of it. Not sure if I was just talking to you all that time with the mic on mute. If so, I'm very sorry. Hi Luca, what do you think of the stream so far? Is it clear? Is it laggy? Any feedback would be appreciated. I'm just going to give an update on Facebook about that initial qualifying session.
On your left. Clear.
Not sure. It could be your side. Depends. Are you watching it on desktop or on a tablet? Because mine's a bit laggy on the iPad, whereas normally it's quite smooth. If I look at the desktop stream, I've just made sure I don't have it running in the background this time so that it's not interfering, because before unfortunately I forgot that it was open, and whoops, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, there. Yeah, I forgot that it was open and Twitch was playing in the background, and I think that that wasn't helping a lot of the times. So yeah, so like I said, now what we've got is, I don't know how easy it is to read or not, but we've included the CPU performance graph and the graphics memory usage just down below the chat as well. So if those spike, then it's definitely my side.
One on the right side. Clear.
But again, we'll sort it all out afterwards. If for any reason the stream is a bit laggy, other than what's physically happening on my desktop, where there are some graphics stutters at some points when a lot of cars go off track and kick up a lot of dust, what we will do is we'll check the stream, and if the stream is of poor quality, then tomorrow what we'll do is just upload the locally recorded stream and put that up as a race replay onto YouTube instead. Let's have a look and see what lap times qualifying. I want to see how deep in the field we're going to be. See, being in there is just
One on the right side.
asking for trouble, really.
Clear.
Let me see if I can get more of the standings showing on this overlay rather than only the few that you can see at the moment. So I should have done this before. I'll need to go and look on the OBS website again to see where I go in and change the number of, let's have a look, where I go and change the number of cars included in the standings. Yeah, I've got so many bookmarks in Chrome now, it's so difficult to find anything. And now I've got something flying around the room, which is always annoying. Okay, so where is the page for the standings? Okay, here we are. There we go. So okay, so maximum rows and standings. So okay, now I know where to go and make the adjustment. Please. Here we go. So let's go into the URL. Let me open WordPad first in case the change I make messes up the overlay. So let's save what's currently in here. Okay. So if we let's try this. Hopefully that didn't just mess up the stream. How much longer have we got? 10 minutes left in qualifying. Hopefully everything is still in position, except you should now have up to 40 cars in the standings. If it looks a bit much, we can reduce it.
Clear. Left side. Clear.
What's really interesting is lap times between myself, excuse me, Christoph. They're really, really close together. And that I think is really important and really helpful when it comes to something like an endurance race where it's multi-class and then also multi-driver in the team, because if you can have everyone in the car pretty much lapping around the same pace, then the car's delivering its maximum every time the driver's in it. Well, I say the car is, not the car, the team is. So you get a nice consistency between the average laps. Ralph, again, as I say, unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, not unfortunately for him, but he's away this weekend, so he wasn't able to. Nice save, Christoph. He wasn't able to race today. He is already at the 2:08.5 mark, which is where Christoph was earlier today. And again, with Christoph's optimal, my optimal, what Ralph's able to deliver, it's just really, really. It's one of those things in sim racing. It's just really strange that we all seem to be at or about the same pace in the car.
Left side. Clear.
So the stream does look a little bit jerky my end as well, so let me see if there's a change I can make in the settings to help with it. Let me try and reduce the frames per second. Although look, the CPU usage is really high. It's bouncing up at 100%, so I think it's definitely going to be my end. Need to find if there's something I can shut down to help. I know that having Chrome windows open, they say, isn't helpful, so let's see if we can close those as well.
Left side. Clear. Clear.
Okay, Luca's back. I don't think it's your end. I think it's my end. If you look down, just above the speed test data below the chat, you see the CPU usage is bouncing up at the 100%. Again, I think it's number of cars on track, the fact that I'm streaming as well. Now it's only around 84, 90%. It's also graphics memory, it's up at 7.9 gig. I say graphics, it's not graphics, is it? That's just physical memory. But physical memory, so CPU usage right now is 83%. Physical memory usage is 24% because I've got 32 meg of RAM, so that's not the issue. 6 meg on the graphics card, so that's not the issue. It's just number of cars, what I'm asking the CPU to do right now is just a lot. So I think that's qualifying done. Christoph's improved the time. Yeah.
Mark, can you set up everything? I have to go to the toilet for a while and we'll be in a minute, okay?
Yep, no problem. Nice lap time. See, again, this is what I like about the way that iRacing does team racing as well. Christoph can go off and I can put the fuel in the car whilst he goes and does a comfort break. He did what I did in the training race as well. And if you watch our replay from the training race where I think we had some stutters as well, we did it the other way around. Christoph did the first stint of qualifying, I did the second stint of qualifying, and then on my very last lap, I put in my PB for the session and our overall PB for the session. And Christoph's just done exactly the same on his last 2 laps. Actually, he's gone even better. His last 2 laps, he set our 2 fastest times for the race. Oh, I see. Justin Ribelo's in the session as well. Justin done another streamer, so I'm just going to go and have a look. Rough Rider, he should be in the roof then today. I'm going to see if he's streaming. If he's streaming, I'm just going to go say hello in his chat. Doesn't look like he is. Let's just have a look. Doesn't look like he is at the moment. Juha Pekalami is though. Again, he's on Grip TV and he's
okay,
on
I'm
track.
Back, mate. It's much better now.
Excellent. Brilliant. You put the fastest 2 times in on your last 2 laps. Double check the garage for you. I've just gone in there and filled the fuel up. So just make sure that you see a full tank. So I'm just going to go and wish JP good luck.
Yep, I see full tank, and I have one request for you. Please inform me when to pit, okay? Because it will be much easier for you, I think, than for me to decide when to pit, okay?
Yep, will do. No problems.
Thank you. Now I have to repeat, be patient, be patient, be patient, especially at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, definitely. But what I would also say is don't be too conservative and too, don't be too conservative because otherwise, if you're not putting the car in the state that you're comfortable with, you can have an accident just as badly. If you're not loading it up enough, if you're taking weird lines, if you're braking too early, because that's what was happening to me. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. And yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. Just have fun. Just have fun. Noah's just put the same in chat.
Yeah, and I see we are in the middle of the grid, so it's quite nice result, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really just like it was on Friday about us just bringing it home. If we can bring it home, a lot of the cars are going to have issues through the 4 hours. So, yeah, as long as we enjoy ourselves, that's all that's important.
Yeah, on the beginning there will be the traffic like in Mumbai.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting down into that first big braking zone. Just going to go and turn down some of my graphics settings again. So, hide default mirrors, no. Um, Off-track stuff is all low. Let's go event. Okay. Let's turn the event down to low. Objects down to low. Not too low actually. I don't want to change too much, otherwise it will look weird. Um, Far terrain. Let's turn that off. Let's see if all these things can help reduce the load on the system. So objects, we don't need lots, although I don't want to change anything. That might be now a braking marker. P
Are we on one to
objects.
go now, Earl? Yes. 10-4. Right side on the restart. Open.
Okay, we'll
No,
see how the
close,
first
close.
step goes. So, yep, again, welcome everybody to the stream. Yeah, welcome everybody, or to anyone watching on the replay up on YouTube. Good luck to everyone that's in the race. Let's enjoy ourselves, and yeah, if you're not watching the stream, you're probably watching the live broadcast, to be fair, on Racebot TV, so go watch it over there. Or multitask, have one on your computer, one on your laptop, or one on your computer, one on your iPad or tablet, whatever you have, and one on one on your smartphone. Watch everything. Okay, let's turn so it doesn't remove them; it just reduces their details. What else? Pit objects. Okay, so yeah, let's take
You're going to be lining up
down
behind the 53.
just because of the number of cars that are in
Lining
the
up
pit
behind
lane.
the 46. Looks like you'll be lining up behind the 600. 66. All right, buddy. Line up behind the 500. 55.
Okay. We're in cars, so we don't need car details high. Just max them all out on replays. Okay, cool. So that should help me now when it actually comes to the race. Let me come back to our own stream so that I can see anyone that's in the chat. So Prior 954 is broadcasting as well. Let's just see if he's in the race. Just realised I was talking with mute on all that time. I need to stop doing that.
Know the track. Line up behind the 30.
Fingers crossed that we have a really good start. I've got loads of
Slow
confidence
car
in
off to the right.
Christoph.
Looks like you'll be lining up behind the 30. Gonna have a car off to the right.
See now, that pink BMW, I think it's the same pink
Behind the
BMW
30.
that we were by a lot on Friday, and we just kept, unfortunately, tripping over the car. It was one of those wrong place, wrong time, and the last thing you want to do in any event is have any negative impact on anybody else. So hopefully that was a training race and we got all of our issues out of the way, and what will happen now is that everybody on track will just have a really good, clean race. One of the things I'll need to make sure is before the race ends is that I've got a lot of space in my hard drive, I should do, to save the entire race replay, because then afterwards what we can do is
Alright, looks like you're gonna be lining up behind the 30.
record the race replay and put that up on our YouTube channel as well, but do it from TV camera rather than sitting here in the box.
With those belts a tug, get your tires cleaned off real well.
Good luck,
Guys,
Christoph. Have fun.
In front of you.
Thank you
middle of
very
the
much.
track. Car is sitting in the middle of the track. Drive through it. Green flag.
Here we go, green flag. So it's going to be really important that everybody is patient into turn one. And yeah, it does that. It's like what Christoph's
Left
doing
side, clear.
is he's going to
Left side,
back up and
slowest
just
in front of you.
give
wide.
everybody space,
Still there.
and
clear.
then hopefully down into turn. Okay,
Left
that's one,
side.
two, turn three.
He's in the middle of the track.
Everyone will
Clear,
will
clear,
be
clear. Clear.
patient with each
Good
other,
job.
whereas that's not necessarily happening up front. So this is the next one down the bottom here. Too tempting for people as cold breaks first lap to just pile in there and try and take as much and as many cars as they can on lap one, and it's just
Left
not
side,
not
clear.
worth it.
Good job.
Hey, thanks, Luca. Yeah, I think I could be wrong, but I think it's because I've turned down some of my settings. So I'm hoping that my PC's isn't working as hard. It still looks like memory-wise we're using around 8 gig, and that's been pretty consistent. And even with all the cars tightly packed together, right now we're fluctuating between 70% CPU usage up to about 90, whereas before we were bouncing off the upper limit of 100% usage, and I think that was causing problems. So hopefully that will help. And again, thank you very much for actually sitting on board with us. Appreciate the support. Yeah, I definitely think turning down a lot of the graphics options was a good idea. It's only really necessary, as everyone will tell you, it's only really necessary if you want the eye candy to turn them up when you're doing replays and stuff like that. Unfortunately, what happens is most everybody thinks, well, I paid good money for the hardware. You want to be able, everyone wants to have that Shangri-La moment of I can turn up all the settings on whatever it is I'm playing to maximum. Everyone picks up, do you remember the good old days where you'd go into a shop, maybe the Virgin Megastore, you'd pick your game up off the shelf and you look at the back and you see recommended settings and the alleged actual performance that the game would work on, and you always had to turn it down. So yes, I've always since then tried to be in a situation where I didn't have to turn them down. But if you're going to do an event like this, 4 hours plus racing, like those 6 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, or 24-hour jobs, especially where you may find you're racing at night, it's just not worth it. You don't need the eye candy whilst you're actually on track. Again, you just turn that up for any replays that you want to watch. Just need to see how soon Christoph can get into the groove. At this time of the race, it's everyone's just trying to find track space, and I'm really impressed that it's a pretty clean start. And that's what you want to see. I mean, people get a little concerned and anxious whenever you're in the practice events and the race events leading up to it. Oh, someone's gone off. Saw all that smoke in the background. But the fact that I'm not seeing graphic stutters when that happened makes me think that the changes to the graphics worked. Probably still getting some stuttering and stuff on the stream, I'd expect, but can't be helped. There's not much more I can do. So I hope the stream's still nice and smooth. Looks like Christoph's got some attention from behind now. Everyone's getting racy as long as they're careful down into Canada. It's you want to race, but it's just not worth like that. The car in front going off. It's just not worth fighting too hard and either slowing yourself down or damaging the car or overworking the tyres this early on in a 4-hour race. However, everyone's a race driver, whether it's virtual or not, and the last thing you want to do is give up time or positions to anybody when it's not necessary. It's hard not to fight, and you don't really not want to fight because what's the fun in that? I hear someone off in the gravel ahead. They may have just put a couple of wheels off.
Leaders off pit road.
Wow. I don't know if he crashed or blew an engine, but that's the last thing you want this early in a race, to see that the leader is now in pit road. I mean, we're only 20 minutes in. I'm sure if we watch on the stream, we'd have a good idea what happened. I might actually put that up on my phone, see what's happening live, but for the leader to have difficulty, don't know if that's the car that we saw kicking up all of that dust. Christoph's times are dropping now as well, so he's getting comfortable in the car, I can see. Just as the director switches to an in-car angle. Christoph running 7th in class. Hi, Smittens. Thanks for joining us. Hope the stream's looking smooth for you. Just going to see if I can jump in the broadcast TeamSpeak. We're not actually in the live broadcast, obviously, but just pick up the channel because I know that they were looking to do driver interviews. Speaking of which, just need to pull up the fuel. So I can keep track of how much Christoph still has in the car. So Christoph's still got about 16 laps to go before his stint finishes, at which point I'll be jumping in the car. Before that, no doubt I'll take a comfort break pit stop and try and follow up his stint, just as well as him keeping the car clean and tidy lines.
Left side. Still
Yes.
there. Clear.
So
Left side.
that move's been coming.
Still there.
It's going to be interesting.
Still there. Clear.
Nice.
Oof, it was very close.
Yeah, I saw that. Very nice, though. Very nice. Done. Yeah, it looks like Christoph has a race on his hands. Again, though, still a very good stint that he's putting in. Handling the pressure well. So, 21 minutes in. Seems like we've been hit. Ooh, a bit of a slide. I think he caught the left front just a little bit too far over the edge of the curb. Happens, that's easily done, but caught it well, recovered well. He's going to be exhausted when he finishes this stint. Trying to drive, continue putting in consistent times, try to ignore the car behind him who's trying to put him under pressure, knowing the pressure could lead to mistakes. He's pushing the track limits though, so he's definitely on it. But again, considering that his qualifying pace was a 2:08.7, he's given up about 1.6 seconds right now. He's not at his optimal race pace because he's taking care of the car. We've already seen the leader, unfortunately, in the pit lanes, and you can see loads of cars on the pit lane. You've got to finish these races first. That's first and foremost. I know it's no cliche, but first and foremost you have to finish the race. So I'm quite sure Christoph could be lapping faster, but let's have a look at his laps actually. But there, as you see, he's could be going much faster, but there's no point. What's more important is that he's consistent. And now, what he's got to look out for is that as he comes up across
On your right.
these slower cars,
Clear.
that he doesn't have any misunderstandings between himself and the other driver, what they are or aren't going to do, but also that the car behind doesn't see it as an opportunity, which it is, to steal a position. Because that's what you'd be looking to do. You'd be looking to capitalize on the distractions ahead of the other driver that you're chasing. Hope that because he's woke up the car ahead, that you have an easier job of getting by them. Ooh, really pushed the track limits there. I think he probably got a couple of wheels off in the dirt, and going through that turn, you really don't want to put two wheels off, and then another car off. I don't know how true it is, but I'm sure I remember seeing somewhere that they called that turn Canada Corner back in the day, because if you got your braking wrong, you'd head off straight down the track and wouldn't stop until you ended up in Canada. Um, I do love the old naming conventions for tracks rather than turn 1, 2, and 3. I know it's much more practical to just give them numbers, but actually having names for them, I much prefer. So let's have a look. So about 12 more laps, 11 more laps. I'll give Christoph the wake-up call with 4 laps to go. And we're just going to fill the tank and go with it. We'll wait till stint 2 or 3 to see where we are. We're not going to do anything clever. Where we worked it out on Friday was that we would probably do average lap times of 2:10 something, and with our fuel burn rate, let me see if it's still where it was. I'm not in the car, so we might not have split details coming up. No, we don't, because I'm not in the car. But Friday, when we did the training race, we were getting about 3.3 litres burnt per lap, which meant over the calculated race distance that we think it will run, based on lap times for us and lap times that we would be doing in the total running time of the race, is that we probably can do it with 4 stops. Since our fuel burn is possibly going to be lower, and if we're running at a slightly lower average lap time, we should do it nice and easy without having to do any exotic pit strategies. But now that they're no longer in and amongst the cars up ahead of them, the caddy behind Christoph is starting to apply more pressure again. But I also think that Christoph's getting in his groove. Yep, there you go. Fastest lap of the race for us so far, which is probably where I expected Christoph to be running, about a second off his queue time.
Right side. You're
Okay.
clear. On your right. Clear.
That was smart, because it didn't look like the car in front was actually going to yield the apex. It just means that now got to be a little bit defensive in here. All I'm praying for right now is that the car behind is just as conservative as we are, that they're thinking along the same lines of we're having a good race, having fun, but we want to see the checkered flag as well.
Right side.
But here we go. So yeah, so
Still there.
it's better that we yield in here.
Still there. Clear.
Yeah, that's smart racing there, because what's possible is the car on the inside keeps their foot down at the apex and drifts wide and pushes you wide. You really don't have much real estate to use if you're out on away, like a car's width already away from the apex. You'll just compromise through there. So now we've just got to look up for this recovering Z4. Is he going to? Ooh, thought he was going to take a bit of a dive. So I'm going to give him the call. 10 laps. Let's see whether Christoph can take the place back. He won't like having lost that. Paddy up ahead, took a bit of a defensive line, so... So now what we really need is to separate ourselves from that Z4 behind. If he's faster, he needs to get ahead because we're not racing him, we're in a different class. If he's not faster, let me just remind Christoph, because if he's
Why
fast,
am I so slow in this sector?
don't worry about it. What I would say is, if that Z4's faster, let him go. You're not racing him. You're in a different class.
Yeah, I know, I would like to do this.
Yeah. Saying that though, it's easier said than done because the Cadillac looks like it's really fast in a straight line compared to the Z4. So, hey, Bingo the chicken.
Right side, clear.
Depends. What's the joke? As long as it's nice and clean. We're a nice PG rated stream. See what I mean? You let him by and he's just almost bump drafting him down the straight. Ooh, way off track. Don't worry about that turn where you think you're going slow. You're doing well, and I think a number of cars already are out, so we'll finish well. That's all that we need to concentrate on. Just to remind Christoph, you know, one of the things you have to do as the other driver or the crew chief, if caught that, the other driver or the crew chief, is to try and keep the guy in the seat calm and focused. If he starts getting frustrated, he starts making mistakes, starts pushing too hard. So okay, let's see if we can. Unfortunately, very sorry to everybody who's just had that joke come up on our stream. So for the moment, I'm going to have to take the chat off the screen.
In front of you, very slow on the right. Drive through it.